To join the strike.
Your access to all the top stories and more. 95.1.
Let's talk.
We must not play politics with security.
Let's talk about the biggest conversations.
Made of trustworthy ideas.
Passionately connected
to everyone.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1. And I'm Femi D. Amede. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day in a way that is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be engaged differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
Hello, my name is Kimberly Nwachukwu. I'm the host of Hard Facts, and I bring you the biggest stories driving conversation every weekday here on 95.1 Nigeria Info Hard Fact Show. I love to get your opinion and conjectures, but the facts you cannot dispute here on Hard Facts. Join me and let's talk.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nothing breaks the news.
Ideas on what's happening in Abuja this very beautiful Wednesday morning. A lot to talk about, and you can join me via Facebook and YouTube this morning. On Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja and on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja. And trust me, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, I'm just wondering what you're waiting for. I might just be looking out for someone to send a recharge card on YouTube. Maybe someone who sends a comment and someone who has subscribed. I might just be looking for that one person. But join me via YouTube this morning, and I'll be glad you do so. Let's have a conversation on electable ideas. What ideas are you voting for in 2023? Of course, looking at the calendar, 25th of February 2023, it's that day that your PVC would speak on some of these electable ideas that we'll be talking about. Let's talk about education as it concerns electable ideas this morning. Lots to talk about, and of course, let me start by letting you know that education, of course, is the driver of prosperity in any society, and as it increase the intellectual capacity of the citizens of that society, whether in soft skills or solution based solving problems with analytical skills as it concerns being educated. And that's our conversation this morning. But let's also look at this conversation this morning. Let's look at what UNESCO is actually saying. What UNESCO is actually saying, and which hits me really bad. It hits me really, really bad. I don't know about you, but UNESCO is actually talking about out of school as at October 2022, almost 2 years later. About 20 million children are out of school in Nigeria, according to the United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization. This figure is far-reaching, increasing from the 10.5 million recorded by the United Nations Children Fund, UNICEF, in 2020. This forms our conversation at this hour as we focus on key areas of our education in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Number one is actually education as a priority. Do you think that we have really prioritized education? Whether you want to talk about it from our budget for education, whether you also want to talk about it from the point of the current administration in different schemes that they have put out there to also encourage children to go back to school. Don't forget the school feeding program and how it has gone so far. Has that also put education in the map of priority for us? And if that has done so, why are we not seeing a reduce of the numbers of out-of-school children? You also want to look at tertiary education. You just remember that we just got back from the university strike, ASU, where students had to stay home for about 8 months. ASU on one side. Also, a new association form on the other side also collected their own certificate of recognition from the federal government. How do we prioritize education again at that level? You also want to look at the conversation from the curriculum that we use in our school. Are they fit into the present time and age of the world? Or do you think we're still running a catch-up race? Some people have definitely argued that we're still running a catch-up race, but I don't know your takes on this. And of course, the last one, it's the tertiary education, the out-of-school children, and of course, the fees that are being paid in some of this school. Some people will say that private entities, private organizations, private schools should actually learn from the public schools. And a lot of people will also cite unity schools, the federal government schools, the ones that you attended those days. Some people will say it's different from now, that people would like to send their children to private schools for the fear of uncertainties at the public schools regarding time of start and time of finish. But what are your electable ideas as it concerns your education? That forms our conversation at this hour. You can join me via YouTube this morning at Nigeria Info Abuja, and join me on Facebook at Nigeria Info Abuja this morning for us to have this conversation. And let me know, what are your electable ideas as it concerns education? That's what we're talking about this hour. And this conversation leads us to 11:25 when the commercials hit your speakers. So we've got less than 14 minutes to have this conversation together. Where are you? Join me right now. Call me up on 0700 951 0000. WhatsApp 0039930137, and that's where our conversation will go this morning. Let's talk Abuja. Where are you? Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Yes.
My name is Victor Onoja. I'm actually calling from Utako.
All right, Victor Onoja, you're welcome. Let's talk.
Okay, looking at electoral ideas, we are seeing the major parties right now that are contesting, and if we are weighing all of their priorities, we all can say, okay, we know what everybody is about to offer to us. It's not really about who is saying it's their turn. It's not really about who is saying it's about, let me say, cultural or ethnic rights or whatsoever. But then we are seeing that, okay, we're seeing the very people that are prioritizing education for us right now.
Okay.
The present administration has ruled for 8 years under one party. That same party is coming again, and then we're seeing that the school feeding that was meant to alleviate this the issues of education in Nigeria, we are seeing that it has turned to a total mess. So many people who can point out where I am. I have been to a few schools to make my own personal research.
All right. So what are your own electable ideas as it concerns education?
Okay, as concerning education.
Yes.
I'm looking to elect someone that I know that won't fail. Obviously won't fail.
Okay.
Someone that I know, okay, that even with his past records, the education system that he has handled is still sustainable till now.
All right.
But looking at this present administration, our education system is not sustainable.
All right, let's leave it at that with you and take orders this morning. Appreciate you for your take.
All right.
Okay. And let's go on YouTube. Let me see if your comments are already dropping on YouTube. Join me on YouTube at Nigeria Info Abuja, YouTube Live and Facebook Live. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning, Effizy.
Yes.
Abakar from Gogolada.
You're welcome. Let's talk.
My electable idea concerning education, the state of emergency should be declared in education sector. The sector is left in coma. This administration have not shown serious commitment to education sector. Our lecturers have been at home and students for several months. So we need to restore the glory, the past glory of Nigeria education. And concerning 20 million children out of school, a reactionary step should be taken whereby this skill acquisition program should start in immediately with these children so that they will become productive.
Okay.
It's not about literacy issues. Their ability to write and read. It's not the only way out. It's to empower our children to be more productive.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Abubakar, to empower our children to be more productive. And here on Facebook, I've got Godwin says L, and he left it at that. And Godwin again says, good afternoon, Sir L. Good afternoon to you. It's still morning in this part of the country. Let's see. Let's go to WhatsApp. Let's see if your messages are here waiting to be read. Okay, this one from the other hour. All right, we go back to the phone line. Hello. Good morning to you.
Hello?
Yes, good morning to you.
Good morning, Effizy.
Yes, sir. Your name and where you are calling from?
Yeah, my name is Umaru. I'm calling from Asokoro.
All right, Umaru from Asokoro. You're welcome. Let's go.
You are touching on an issue that is very passionate, very dear to my heart as an individual, and I believe many people.
All right.
Which I think this country we are doing very badly in education. Just like the figures that you have meted out. We have 20 million children out of school. It's pathetic. It's one of the worst, if not the worst in the whole world, if you do a comparative analysis. And I think my elective idea is very simple.
Okay.
Everybody has to be on board. Everybody. The parents, because I'm telling you from experience, there was a school that we opened in my village, in my local government.
Okay.
And the fees is just 6,000. And can you imagine the school is almost collapsing because the parents refuse to pay school fees. Teachers have not been receiving their pay. We have to intervene, the people,
the parents,
the citizens of that local government, to contribute like 50,000 so that we can pay school fees.
Wow.
Which shows you that even the parents at home, they don't even value education. And you have to look at the issue of population explosion, most especially in the northern region.
Okay.
Because most of these things are happening in the northern region. Because a lot of people get married and then they give birth to many children and they cannot take care of them. They cannot give them good education. They cannot feed them well. That's the biggest problem. It's all these boys, Almajiri, hanging on the street, young boys being abused. So something must be done in that respect.
Okay.
The Almajiri system of education must be it has to be reformed. Let me put it like that. It has to be reformed.
All right.
The government must be serious. The local government, state governments, federal governments, and all stakeholders must be serious and look into this thing so that these young children should be going to school.
All right, thank you.
I feel it's a very worrisome situation.
Thank you.
That's why it's about crime and so many things.
All right, thank you, Umar. Let's leave it at that with you. Umar also looking at it from every angle, even the angle of the parents, the community itself, the people living in the community in its entirety. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Engineer Ochapa.
All right.
I'm calling you from Gwagwalada.
You're welcome. Let's talk.
Yeah, talking about out of school children.
We're talking about education in Nigeria as a whole, not just out of school children was one of our focus points.
Okay.
Yes.
But the area I want to contribute is talking about the value of education now.
The value of education. That's your electable idea, right?
Yes.
All right. Talk to me.
Because I want to say a scenario where a child will go to a school and by the end of the day he will come out of the school without having a job to do, you know. And then you talk about the curriculum where you have a miracle center spread all over the place where somebody will say, I will sit at home and by the end of the day I'm going to write my wife and pass, you know. So all these things are accumulated factors that is pushing children out of school. Because if I finish secondary school and if I finish university and I discover that nothing for me, I mean, I will, like the popular saying now, which young people used to say that education is a scam, you know?
It's quite unfortunate.
Because if they come out, they are not sure of having a job. So
right.
discover that by the end of the day, what they have gone to learn means nothing to them.
All right, let's leave it at that with you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate you for your take. Just before we take the next one, and Gideon here on YouTube says, good to see you here, Effizy. Our school curriculum in public school is something else. It's as if education does not matter again. I stand with privatizing this sector Gideon from Wuse sent that in via YouTube this morning. And Ike Chuku here on Facebook says, I thought, oh my God. So I thought you were one slim guy. All right, let's leave it at that with you. I'm not sure that's your electable idea this morning. All right, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Sahel.
Yes, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Ofo. I'm calling from Buari.
Ofo, you're welcome to the show. Let's talk.
Yes, my electable idea when it comes to education in Nigeria is simple. We need to increase our budget, our funding for education.
Okay.
Nigeria has one of the lowest education budget per capita compared to the top, say, 100 countries in the world. It shows that education is not a priority to this government, is not a priority to the people within the corridors of power. And we have seen the results of that. We have seen how criminality has increased in the last few years. We have seen ASU going on strike constantly because of money issues. We've seen how schools have become abandoned, how parents are afraid to take their kids to school, those ones who are willing to do that. So funding has to be put in place. You cannot allocate monies to things that do not benefit your nation, and you neglect something like education, because a well-educated people is a prosperous nation.
All right.
So funding needs to be put in place. You
Funding.
need to allocate as much as possible to education in order to bring us at par with other developing nations.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I must appreciate you. Citing funding there. Appreciate you. And Francis Ubu via WhatsApp says, well done, the billionaire. Appreciate you too for joining in. Let's see here. Lots of call coming via WhatsApp this morning. Okay, let's take this one. Hello, good morning to you.
Hey, the billionaire.
Yes, sir.
The billionaire.
Yes, sir.
I miss you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate you. It's good to know that you are listening in.
You this year. How are you doing?
I'm doing very well.
In Nigeria.
Very well.
Yeah. Contribute to the program online.
All right.
Now.
You didn't say your name.
TJ from Dubai.
Pastor TJ from Dubai.
Dubai.
It's good to know that you are joining the show live today, not sending a message. You're welcome. Let's talk.
Yeah, the network has been so bad. Yeah, that's why I'm not able to join. Sometimes I get an opportunity to listen to you for a while, and the thing we get to go up.
Okay.
That is why I'm not able to join. But my spirit is always with you.
Thank you. I appreciate you.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to advise everybody that's going to vote in the next election that anyone coming begging for a vote that doesn't have a good plan for education should not be listened to. We should vote for anyone that have a very good plan for our children, because what we are in Nigeria today is because the younger ones was not taken care of. They become instruments in the hand of the enemy of the nation. So any nation that is not training the children now is preparing soldier for its enemy in the future. So education is my priority in the next election.
All right.
I greet everybody. Abubakar from Gwagwalada, Mami C, Alani, and everyone of the Salah C. I greet all of you. I miss you all. Yellow Day also. I miss everybody. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Nigeria shall be great again in Jesus' name.
Amen to your prayer. Thank you, Pastor TJ from Dubai, calling in this morning via WhatsApp. And I see Patrick via Facebook says the government of the day, the government of this administration is not helping in education sector. Imagine the school feeding program. You refer to it as a total scam. But what happened to free education at primary level? Another question there. Let's go back to YouTube and see. Charles here on YouTube says, wow, placing the voice to the body. Nice. Well done, the billionaire. Interesting. And my Ninja Story, awesome program. As always, L, the only billionaire. I appreciate you, all my people via YouTube. You guys are doing great. Thank you. Let's go and check on our Twitter communities. Anybody talking via Twitter this morning to us as it concerns electable ideas? And yes, Joy the Obedient here on Twitter says, you have my vote, but you need to go, to grassroots, to campaign. Okay, Joy, we don't seem to understand your message and this response, where is it coming from? It's all good. We've got 1 minute more. Can we do this final call in 1 minute? Let's try and see. Hello, good morning. Hello? All right, nobody's there. Can't seem to hear you. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, your name and where you are calling from.
Good morning, Effizy. My name is Gerald. I'm calling from Usetu.
Gerald from Usetu, you have 40 seconds. I don't know how you can speed that up, but you're welcome. Let's talk.
That is unfair. Okay, so electable idea.
Yes.
Is simply somebody, a candidate that will understand that this idea that the federal government can fully sponsor education up to university level for every Nigerian at the crazy reduced rate that we currently have, a candidate that will understand that it is not sustainable. A candidate that will understand that even US with all its money does not fund tertiary education the way Nigeria funds it.
All right. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Gerald. Let's leave it at that with you. All right, that's too much we can take on electable ideas. I must thank you for joining me via YouTube and Facebook, and those who called via WhatsApp, and those who also sent me messages via WhatsApp. Thank you so much, and thank you, Abuja. Stay with me. After the news at the bottom of the hour, we'll try and do some shout-outs. Stay with me. My name is Effizy, the billionaire in pounds, dollar, euro, and even in the new redesign era. You can call me Sir L, and you will not be wrong. I'll be right back.
On your
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, I can prove it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1, and I'm Femi D. Amede. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day in a way that is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and the stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be engaged differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
This is Nigeria Info.